So thank God it's Friday. Hope everyone's having a good week. I know I didn't get to go live last Friday, so I wanted to show you guys some of the fish here that we have for sale at Imperial Tropicals. I know Ahmad put up a poll on our Facebook group, Imperial Tropicals Fish Keepers, asking about what fish people wanted to see today. I checked a few minutes ago. It looked like the majority said African cichlids, and then the South American cichlids were right behind it. So today, when I'm walking around, I'm going to make sure that I show you guys the Africans first. Then we'll go look at some South American fish. We'll go look at some rainbow fish. I'll try to show a little bit of everything, and everything is looking really nice right now. We're having really good weather here in Florida. Ooh, my battery died on my gimbal. Actually, it's not my battery. I think it's the weight. I got a new phone case, so it might be a little difficult for me today. Might get a little. Mohammed said just told us that the South and Central were the majority. Oh, nice. So last time I checked, it was I thought it was the Africans. So that means we'll start with the South and Centrals first. And with that being said, we have a new Central America that is new to me. This is the first time I've ever had it before, and a local friend of mine that breeds is now breeding these. This is the Parathaps Kamako. So these guys, I believe we just took pictures of them last week. So actually, it was this week. It's really unique fish. It goes through quite a bit of a color change, and like I said, I'm fairly new to these fish. I've done some research on them, but they seem to be very hardy, and it looks like the pattern changes on all of them. Like they start off, just kind of like this grayish silver, and then they start getting red and white and orange. Here's a couple bigger ones up here that we had separated out to keep them from fighting. But really attractive looking Central American. And then another South American here. These are some of our tank raised Uaru. And really awesome little fish. I'm so glad that we're finally breeding these here. Armando has been doing a good job getting a lot of these fish to breed for us, and it's nice because these are not easy to bring in from overseas. So the fact that we've got some tank raised ones here by us, I'm excited about that. Ooh, sorry about that. I think my phone is too heavy for this gimbal, so we're gonna try to set it back up. Let's see if I can get it to go. All right, let's see how long it lasts now. So we've been selling this some spiralums for a long time. We're still trying to get the location for this one because I feel like it's a little bit different than the spiralum that we sell currently. So I am working on getting a location for these guys because they get the bright spangles and coloration at a much smaller size. So it's really nice fish. Let's go find some more. I'm not going to show you the red tears because people want to buy them, and those are not for sale. We're growing some of those up to breed them. This is another Vihos sonata. This is another fish that same breeder is breeding. And these will be, I think we took pictures of these guys yesterday, so these will be going up on the website. So we got quite a few centrals coming online. This Robert Sonai, there's another one. We got him growing up for pictures. OnlyFence is asking about the chili. I saw that one, the chili Oscars. Those guys are not for sale. We ended up taking them and we're growing them up for future breeders. So, unfortunately, that fish, was brought in for breeding purposes. I think I ended up sending one to one of our customers, but so that's something we can look forward to in the future, is that we will be growing them up and breeding them. But right now they're up growing up in a pond with all those other Oscars. Now there's a chance I might bring in some in the future for selling, but getting good quality Oscars has been very difficult for us. So we decided that, you know, the only way to fix that problem is to breed them ourselves, you know. This is the red shoulder Severums, the hero species Raquel, and they're a little bit shy and hiding right now, but these are a good size. These are like 4 to 5 inches in size, so they're pretty good size. A lot more difficult to ship those big ones, but we've gotten pretty good at making sure we triple bag them and add plenty of you know, bags and protection. The smaller ones I showed previous, those are the smaller Raquels. So both of those are up on the website. We got the green turquoise. We got some smaller of the electric blue Texas. Like it was really nice when we got some of the bigger ones in a few weeks ago. But even at this size, this is more like a 2 to 3 inch size. You can already see a lot of the blue coming in on them. Scatulas, those are some Uruguay cichlids that really nice, aggressive. I like the red eyes on them. What else we got? Oh, we got the dwarf flag, the curviceps, a couple males in there, really showing color. We need a better picture of them on the website. That'd be a good time to do it, because a couple of those males are really popping with color right now, wanting to breed. So I like the curviceps. Blue Acaras, those guys are the natural form, not the electric blue, and when those males get colored up, they look spectacular. Lots of angelfish. Let's see, what else we got? We got some bigger of the green turquoise Severums. Really nice fish. And then yeah, I agree, the curviceps are underrated. I think more people are finding out just how nice they are, because they seem to be going out pretty regularly lately. And I know at one point they were just kind of slow moving, not that popular compared to some of our other fish. Got some nice veil-tail black marbles. I know there's only a few of those left. We got a few chocolate cichlids left. Those guys are always popular for South Americans. And of course, the electric blue Acaras. Those guys have been hard to keep up with the demand on them. I mean, just very colorful, not overly aggressive. We got the Nicoquensis. These guys are looking really nice. Now we are seeing a few people that have had aggression with these and their tanks. It's usually when you don't have more than one of the same species, you know, that those fish turn aggressive. So you definitely want to keep them with more than one of the same species. Dactaries, I know Africans are next. We'll go through and show you some of the Africans. Really nice Mabuna species. Now, a person recently bought just a male and it's not collaring up in their tank. And I'm explained to the customer that they probably need a female to really show those collars nicely. So, you know, just to keep in mind, anytime you do only males, that you're going to have some that do not collar up unless they have a female in the tank. So here's the albino dragon bloods. Those guys are popping with color. I have a thing for albino fish. They're just really, really colorful fish. All right, and then We got, oh, let me get this one. The camera's getting a little wonky. I always show off the SP44s because they're always so colorful. And what I like about them, they're feisty little guys, but they don't kill each other. You know, they're just always like, it reminds me of like the German blue rams. My bossy males. Those guys are really nice. What else do we got here? That's just a couple of sorted males. We got some star sapphires, like 3 to 4 inch males. I'm afraid my battery's about to die on this again. Let's see. Albino Turkish. Another nice fish. We got the Copocomus azureus. This is a good example of a couple males in the tank that are subdominant. You can see, you know, 4 of the 6 are like really colorful. A couple of them are even more colorful, but you know, when you have aggression in the tank, you're going to have some males that just completely turn their colors off. So maintaining the tank's aggression is a very important part of keeping your fish where they're colorful and looking really nice. All right, this is the blue flash. So we're getting some really unique colorations from these guys. Like that guy right there has got all types of white and looks like he's got some yellow coming out in him. Really excited about these guys. They all look slightly different from each other, but that's a really nice fish right there. Some albino sunshines. I know Brittany did a video of those this week for her TikTok videos. Some Tetras stigmas. These guys are looking nice. We got some swallowtails. A couple males showing some good color, but like I said, when there'll usually only be a couple dominant ones in a tank, especially in a 40-gallon tank, and then the rest of them just kind of look plain. Same thing with these OB peacock or OB Alis. See a couple of them really popping with color. All right, so we are, I would say, low on male peacocks, which actually these are all juveniles. And go around to this back side. We got some bigger blue regals right here. We got some Turkish peacocks up here. And the red that you see on the Turkish is just an age factor. They're going to turn solid turquoise when they get grown and full of bravado. All right, I know rams were on that list for people to see. We got some gold rams here, and then we've got the German blue rams here. We were out of the German blue rams for a while, but we got them back in. Of course, I show off the cardinals every week because they're one of my favorite South American fish. So we got lots of nice cardinals. Lots of cories, gold lasers. Not a lot of new Tetras in. I know I see Drayden on. He was asking about any new types of Tetras. Not a lot coming in right now. Brazil's got a pretty good amount on their list, but it's not easy. This is the rainbow shiners. It's not easy to bring them in just because of the cost. I mean, they're just already, they're very high price on their list, and then by the time you land them, I mean, some of these Tetras would be landing, you know, they would retail out for like 30, 40 bucks each, and it's just kind of scary to bring in Tetras that cost that much unless we're using them for breeding stock. And that is, the good news is we are having success breeding some of the new Tetras that we brought in, Drayden. So So that's exciting. And then the next time I bring some in, I will probably sell a few off, you know, but most of them will be saved back for breeders. We did get quite a bit of new tangs in that will be going up. We got the Sumba Dwarf. In fact, the picture on the website was one that Drayden had took that was really, really nice. That's the problem with, you know, getting a new Tanganyikan in from a breeder, is that when they're small, they don't look very nice. Not very colorful until they get big, and that takes a long time for them to grow up into a nice, big, beautiful fish. Like this is a new compressor set that we brought in, but you know, as you can see, I mean, they still look nice at this size, but when you Google that name and look at what they look like when they get bigger, it's just a drastic difference. The gold head comps, that's a good example. Like these guys are really small, like 1 inch in size, but if you look at our website and see what a gold head comp looks like when it's bigger, I mean, it's just night and day difference. We got some Cylindricus in. Those are always good sellers, and these are a good size to ship. So we got the Cylindricus. We also got a new Juliachromis, and this is the Midnight Julies, and this is the first time we brought these guys in, so we are having to take a picture. But what's nice is they already look pretty nice even at this size. So that's a new Julie. Then we got the Transcriptus. That's the Transcriptus Golden. These guys are looking nice. So lots of new tangs in. We also got in some Malawi trout. These are smaller ones. So that's always a sought after fish. Unfortunately, it's going to be a long time before we could sex out males, so these are going to be sold as unsexed, but still a very nice fish. We did bring in some Nagara flametails too. That is one that we breed in-house, but we've been out of them, so I decided to bring in a batch from a friend of mine that breeds them, and he's got a nice strain, so the males are looking nice. Let's see, we got some inkfin, black inkfin calvus in. Ooh. Sorry, every once in a while it's going to get a little wonky. I think my phone case is too heavy for the gimbal. So we got inkfin calvus, we got white calvus. Let's see if I can get this camera to straighten up. These guys are looking nice. What else did we get? We got a new fish to me, a Malawi Mabuna Nikita Orange, and really excited about this one because it's got really nice color. So I think those are going to be popular. We're in the process of getting photos of those guys. Batatas, those are always good sellers for Tanganyikan community tanks. What else did we get? I think we've got some on the back side. We got Bachardes, Brevis, Lalupis. These guys are always popular for the Tanganyikan communities. Oh, we got some Cichlids, Liposoma. These guys are doing good. We got the Similis. In fact, we didn't have a picture of those guys. I think that was another one we took a picture of. We've been taking a lot of pictures this week because I don't like selling something until I have an actual picture so people can see what they look like, you know. And then on some of them, when they're not very colorful, I grow them up until they get colorful, and then I take pictures of them. And this would be another one here that we're waiting on a picture. The Yasichromis blue tipped. That's another nice Victorian. That's pretty rare. I should say all Victorian cichlids are considered rare, especially ones that have a location. That's the Regani Burundis. These guys are looking nice. What else? The white labs. The Cotta Bay. Pretty shy. Every time I go by the tank, they want to go hide. They've been selling it pretty well. Gold ocellatus. Those guys are always really popular. We've been having good luck with breeding them. Seems like our Tanganyikans are breeding better this winter than they did in the summertime. All right, now I'm going to go by and show you guys some of the rainbow fish. I can't show you everything. There's just too many tanks. So we're gonna hit the highlights. We got some albino millenniums in that are really nice. A couple of those males are showing some really good colors. And then we got the Gorda River. Those guys are looking nice. And we got in some more yellow rainbows. That's always a really, really popular one. Guys are looking nice. And what else did we do? So we got the Celebes rainbows. Those guys are looking nice. Yeah, I think my gimbal's just getting too hot. I'm gonna have to do something different next time with the phone case. Maybe take it out of the phone case. We got some thread fins. Looking really nice. Multisquamatas are looking nice. And these are sold as unsexed, the multisquamatas, but you can request males and females. They are sexable, but what we typically do is we try to, make sure that if a customer orders, 2 or 3, that he gets both sexes, because in our opinion, a lot of these color up much better whenever you have males and females on some of these types. So if you had just a male in the tank, then they're not going to be as colorful. Some types, like the Doherty Eye, yellow rainbows, millenniums, they color up no matter what. Now I do think they color up better with males and females, but the Empire Gudgeons, that's one of the more rare gudgeons, that are really popular. It's only, I think, the second time we've ever had those guys in. Of course, the Bozeman eyes, always looking really nice. See a couple males in there that are popping with color. Turquoise rainbows, always very colorful. And then we have the regular peacock gudgeons, which I say regular. I'm just happy that we're able to offer these guys, because there's only one of our local suppliers that's a good friend of mine breeds them, and I'm happy that he breeds them, because always looking for a nice bottom dweller for rainbow fish, and these guys do really well. Of course, dwarf neons. These guys are looking nice. We got the crimson spot, the Dubrelay, Snapper Creek. So I think if I had to pick a group of fish that were my favorites, it would be definitely be rainbow fish. Just, it's hard to beat the colors and that fact that they don't try to kill each other. We got a lot of Apistos up, like the opals, Borlei. Those guys have been really nice, and they don't stay around long. So whenever we get a batch up to size, usually they sell out pretty quickly. And then the D12s, those guys are looking really nice. I notice my camera's out of focus. Triple red cockatoids. This is the Apistogramma bitiniata, which we brought these in for breeders, but we might end up selling a few pairs off depending on how many pairs we ended up getting. I notice my camera is out of focus. And we got the wild type cockatoids. These guys have been breeding for us, and the selling banks. We got a few of the black rams that we brought in from Indonesia. Still not as black as what I'd like them to be, but we got the guard dwarf cars. Got another batch of clown loaches in. These are slightly smaller ones, but they're doing good. The D18s, you can see a couple of those males are flaring up. We still have some of the albino heculi. And my camera keeps dying. It's getting too hot. I could put my hand on it, I could feel the temperature. So I haven't even been able to see any of the questions popping up, so I'm gonna set this camera up, try to leave it on one tank of fish. This is the Marissi. Let me see if I can get these lids out of the way. This is one of the new rainbow fish. Really, really nice fish. All right. All right, so while I've got it on these, maybe they'll settle down. I'm gonna try to get some of these. Oh, I've been missing a lot. Dragon Lair. What's up? Chevy Fish. OnlyFans. OnlyFans says he loves that South and Centrals are finally getting some love. Alright. I'm glad you're doing better, Dragon Lair. So, Mod's saying I should show off those red tears. No. I already had one person talk me into selling them a few last week, and I don't want to be pressured. So, hey, Alishan. No, I've been really bad with emails, so please send it again. I've been really, really behind on emails, which I don't think is anything new. Alright. Dan Cope, happy birthday. Alright, Drayden said his co-workers want some diptail. I'll bring them in. I'm surprised they didn't sell as well. I mean, they ended up selling, but not. I don't think people realize, you know, just how cool of a community South American fish they are. Yeah, he's asking about the albino firemouth. There is some in the U.S. hobby, but not very many. And I really would like to get my hands on some. Me being an albino liker, I would like to get some albino firemouths. The pictures and stuff I've seen on the web are just amazing. All right. Alright, and I'm having troubles with this gimbal today, so alright, well, one thing is, let me get this thing to power back up, and then I'm gonna stand up. So, glad I was able to quickly go around. Having trouble with this camera today. Hopefully it hasn't been glitchy, and the video quality has been good. Again, I almost didn't go live today. Luckily, last night I was asked if I was, and I committed to going live. If not, I would have probably backed out, just because I've got so much work to do here, and it seems like we never get caught up. But thank you for joining us today. We will be working on inventory today, so you're going to see a lot of new stuff going up, and I'm hoping to eventually get this inventory where it's under wraps and we stay more current, and we came up with some techniques to make the taking pictures of them in the tank a lot better, a lot easier. So Jared's been working on that this week. It's been nice because we haven't had to take them out of the tanks and put them in the photo tanks. We're taking pictures of them in the actual 40-gallon tanks that they're held in. So it went dead again. So so hopefully it's gonna like make the process of getting pictures of these new fish a little bit quicker, so we're not always just waiting for a photo before we start listing them. And then you can see the big tanks behind me. Everything's doing good except the Buops is like beating up my Frontosa. You can see the males just kind of darting around back there behind me. We're going to end up taking those guys out. I'm going to end up, now that it's warmed up here, we're at 85 degrees today, so it's nice and warm. Now that the weather's warming up, I'm going to take those guys to a pond where they got adequate space. So planted tank's looking really good. I added some zebra plecos to that tank last week. Kind of excited about that, even though they hide. It's actually one that was just out on the rock right there. The Macanapura angels are looking good, starting to get some color. I did add some Balzani, a pair, to this tank last week. I took out the big Hypostomus luteus. I felt like he was just, too big for the tank, disrupting the fish. See the big fronts. You see the boops swimming around, terrorizing everything. So, still got a lot of things that we're wanting to do with these tanks, but one thing is finding some tanks that are compatible with these guys. So, like I said, the feather fins, this particular one is really aggressive, which also have like 3 males and 1 female, so that's one reason my aggression is so high. And they don't kill the other fish, they're just constantly harassing them, but they are really, really spectacular fish. Yeah, he's jet black. So, all right, everyone, thank you again for joining. Have a good weekend, and hopefully if all goes well, I'll go live next week. Hopefully I don't have trouble with the gimbal, so I felt like I was rushed today, showing everybody the fish. So hopefully next week I'll have things going a little bit smoother, and I can take my time, show you guys a little bit more fish. So thank you. Have a good weekend.